Good morning, my name is Igor Vitale and I give you my welcome to this lesson, Gastronomy in Action. This lesson is part of an Erasmus project called the Agriculture Tourism Alliance from Farm to Fork Strategy in the Pacific Island countries. The project is part of the capacity building higher education applied in the Pacific region. The lesson I will present you is the lesson implemented in Fiji on September 2025 during the first capacity building action we did in Fiji and Samoa. Before to start, I just remind you that this project is funded by the European Union and the views and opinions expressed are those of the authors only and do not necessarily reflect those of the European Union or the European Education and Culture Executive Agency. So, neither the European Union and the EHEA can be held responsible for the content. First of all, I thank again Fiji for the great hospitality we had in the capacity building action. It was amazing to implement this lesson in the Fiji National University and the University of the South Pacific Fiji campus. It has been a great opportunity for us. It has been the first time we applied an action in this specific region. We already been in the Pacific through the European territories in the French Polynesia. This was the first time we applied a project and implemented in Fiji. So we learned a lot and we are always grateful for the hospitality by our colleagues. This project is, as we told, funded by the European Union. My organization is called Igor Vital International, so I represent the enterprise within this action. And also, of course, is part of a set of action that Europe is implementing outside Europe, called the Global Gateway Strategy. This strategy is applied also in the Pacific, and we are very proud to be part and implement an action within this ambitious framework from Europe. We will see this more in another lesson related to how to strengthen the cooperation between Europe and other regions and how to create joint projects concerning Europe and the Pacific region. As I mentioned before, this lesson is part of the Agriculture Tourism Alliance from farm to fork applied in the Pacific Ocean agritourism. Now, this project, as you can see from the flags, involves both European countries, Italy, for example, Slovakia, which is our leader, and then three different Pacific Ocean countries, Fiji, Vanuatu, and Samoa. I come from Foggia. This is where our company is located. Foggia is a part of this project, as Foggia will be also one of the venues hosting the capacity building when implemented in Italy. So how does this project works? This project is based on content creation, on this course you are listening now, but also on some physical on-site mobilities. So in the first part, European experts moved in a mobility in Fiji and Samoa. Being the long distance, we decided to combine the well connected countries, so we visited both Fiji and Samoa. Then there will be in May this year, 2026, a mobility in Vanuatu, so we cover the entire regions. At the same time, of course, the Pacific Ocean experts from Fiji, Samoa, and Vanuatu will come to Italy, to Foggia, and to Slovakia, which is the country of the coordinator of this proposal. So this is Foggia. My name is Igor Vitale. I run my company called Igor Vitale International. I will be very happy to host experts, professors from Fiji, Samoa, and Vanuatu. I think it will be the first time for us to implement an action of this type in the southern Italy, which is a territory strongly based on the topics, as we have a predominant presence of agricultural companies and also tourism sites. We'll talk more about this when coming to Foggia, but I just want to show that essentially our territory is a territory with a great biodiversity in line in general with the national biodiversity that is present in Italy. Only in our province we have both islands, we have the Isole Tremiti, we have coastal areas, lakes, mountains, lowlands, and so on. We have a strong agriculture, okay, even if, of course, in Italy, the percentage of agricultural companies and the contribution to GDP is relative. Foggia is a territory of agriculture, so when coming, I will work a lot on this topic. I will show how it's very important to go local and to valorize the local ingredients of the territory, the different types of materials we have. We are strong, for example, in tomatoes, we are strong in olive oil, and so on. We have also the part of fisheries. So, of course, any agritourism activity can benefit from a wide range of food products. This is, let's say, our strength. Then we have to say that, of course, the Foggian territory have some challenges, let's say, in employment. Luckily, now it's a positive trend in Italy in general, but in the past we had more difficulties. We are ranked not in the best position for the quality of life, but we are ranked first for, let's say, happiness, as our province is the lowest consumption in antidepressants. So even if, let's say, the economic conditions are not the best performance in Italy, we have this positive side, and we will try during this course to show you that agritourism can be combined with well-being. Okay, there are many evidences that nature-based activities are essentially, very important to preserve the well-being. So come to Foggia, this is my invitation for this project. I don't know when you will listen this lesson, so if the opportunity will be there to still apply to come to Foggia as a representative of the organization, or there will be other chances, because even if it's not maybe the most famous city in Italy for tourism, we have wonderful places to show you. What we do, as this is planned in the AgriTour project, is that we will do an itinerary, a learning itinerary across the different territories, and in cooperation with many local actors that cooperate with us, and in the past demonstrated to have very nice results in terms of educational activities connected to food. I show you some examples. This is what we will do. We have 7 days, and I will show you some example. Of course, the detailed program will come, but the capacity building in Italy will be a 7 days mobility, including Southern Italy and North Italy. From the Italian side, this project both includes the Igor Vitale International, but also the Catholic University of the Sacred Heart from Milan. So we'll talk about the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork strategy. Of course, these strategies are European strategies to promote the interconnection between producer and consumers. Okay, so we are in this moment, 2026, where several years we apply this. Then we can do a parallelism because, of course, we know that in the Pacific Ocean, in Fiji, is applied a similar strategy called Farm to Table. And we'll talk also about food ethics in practice. Specifically, we can talk about hot cuisine restaurants. So how, for example, hot cuisine that, of course, are considered normally, let's say, high rate expenses restaurants can embed materials, rare ingredients from the territory and valorize the biodiversity. Because, of course, when a high cost restaurant can use in a very sophisticated way these ingredients and valorize their full potential. We'll see practically how we do this in Foggia, but you can replicate this in Fiji, Samoa, and Vanuatu by targeting your ingredients. Then we will see the strategies of cooperation between tourism, hospitality, and fisheries. We will see the traditional fishery experiences that we have in our territory, and of course the synergy between tourism sector and farms, as well as ethical wine production. This is well established in Italy because we have a law about agritourism. It's very well regulated. If you want to cooperate between agriculture and tourism, you have many fiscal advantages, and you have many regulations to follow, but at the same time a big valorization. We can say that in Italy in general, agritourism is a system that is working very well and can empower truly the agricultural activities. Examples. Practical workshop we can implement in the area of food. Okay, so for example, we cooperate with chef Domenico Cilenti in our team, Michelin star restaurant from 2021 to 2025. In this case, we can do, for example, ethnobotany workshop, which are workshop guided by a botanist, guiding in the recognition of wild herbs. Wild herbs had a very specific role in the past, okay, because especially in the periods, the most difficult period was widely accessible, no cost essentially, and helped the communities to survive. Today, luckily, we live in better economic condition, but still we don't have to forget the great opportunity to use wild herbs, also in hot cuisine or also in pop cuisine and so on, but to use them and to help people to recognize the high advantage to eat wild herbs and the healthiest versions to eat wild herbs. So, of course, you can use it as a part of your diet. At the same time, you can use it in a hot cuisine situation to valorize the wild herbs and make know these rare herbs. Of course, through a certified botanist, will be able to recognize, let's say, our species. You can do the same in Samoa, Vanuatu, and Fiji and replicate strategy. So we can apply this hot cuisine workshop from farm to fork. In this strategy, as you can see, we can truly go in the farms and pick these wild herbs, and then think how to valorize them in a hot cuisine setting or anyhow in a restaurant setting. Again, we can apply an artisanal bread workshop. This is an example we did with the bakery expert Pascal Barbato and food ambassador. Of course, we have our types of bread, and we can show you how we valorize this type of version. Of course, among the bakery products in Italy, everybody knows pizza. That is truly an international recipe. We can find truly pizza everywhere. But there are many other formats we use in our region, especially focaccia. In focaccia, of course, the olive oil play a key role, and of course, it's a little bit more, let's say, local. And again, we can work with a variety depending on the moment of the year by respecting totally seasonality. We can truly apply our strategies and courses according to the moment. Can be mushroom, can be seafood, can be wild herbs, or we can target, the specific area depending on the moment of the year. Or again, for example, applied in the past with the ethical and rare wines workshop with a very good sparkling wine company called Darapri in San Severo that offered in the past this kind of workshop. And again, fishing and so on. These are example of activities we can replicate within the capacity building in Italy. That's now our project, the Agriculture Tourism Alliance from Farm to Fork strategy applied in the Pacific Island countries. Here we are, this is our team. This is the number and the type of organization taking part. As you can see, mostly universities, the Slovak University of Agriculture, New Edu, the Catholic University of Milan, Igor Vitale International. New Edu and Igor Vitale International are not universities. And then we have the University of the South Pacific, Fiji National University, the National University of Vanuatu, and the National University of Samoa. Here we are, the first year of the project is the EU Pacific International Office Task Force, research, and then the submission of the research in a peer-reviewed journal. On the second year, we have the digital platform, which is the platform you are visiting now, the recording of the course, the testing on the course and 10 students, and then the promotion of these materials, let's say the optimized materials on 400 learners. At the end, we have the capacity building in Vanuatu. Again, in the year 3, instead, we will go with the internship protocol. So, since the agritourism is a new model tendential in the Pacific Ocean, we want to test the internship, the applied internship in the participating countries. Again, here we will have activities as explained with 18 participants for 7 days in the capacity building in Italy. And again, in Slovakia. So these are the types of activities that the European program can do. We implemented actions in mostly several parts of the world like India, Philippines, Nigeria, in the Caribbean, in Greenland, in the Pacific Ocean, in the Maldives, and so on. So this program and the Erasmus Plus program and the Global Gateway strategy can truly give important opportunities to develop joint actions. We already implemented actions in the Pacific Ocean. For example, this is a mobility we did in the Maldives by promoting the Blue Ocean Project and the Inclusive Leadership Project. Or again, we visited most remote territories, showing the difficulties that remote Pacific Island countries can have. By meeting also the representative of the governments within this type of framework. Or again, we applied similar actions in Egypt, where recently Europe issued a pact for the Mediterranean for reinforcing the cooperation between Europe and the South Mediterranean countries, so again, coastal territories. We applied projects like the Blue Ocean Project in French Polynesia, which is technically French territory, and but still facing similar difficulties of the Pacific Island countries because it's located in the Pacific Ocean. And again and again. So these are actions that this amazing program can give. And here we are in Fiji with our Erasmus Plus project where we will start our action together within the Eco-Gastronomy in action. And again, in Micronesia, we recently had approval for a project of cooperation within the Pacific Ocean. Let's see now the Eco-Gastronomy in action. We'll start our lesson very soon. So thank you for your participation here. Let's go on the next lesson. See you at the next